My name's Caroline Poynton from Manchester Bury, and we'll record this today off YouTube because I'm not copywriting and paying attention. And the reason is because I am
Wishing all Muslims in the UK.
I want to remind you, absolutely correct about King Charles changing his religion. I was correct, and I've always been right.
Well, the defender of Islam and the field mouse has struck again.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid, King Charles in the palace, you thought you slipped this change into the sovereign grant document and we wouldn't notice. But I miss nothing.
I have.
And insiders, I am giving you the story that Palace Confidential won't. We are getting into the sneaky, dirty little PR move that the palace have pulled. And I'm afraid to say it affects every single one of us, and not in a good way. Welcome back. So the Sovereign Grant Report, okay, that was published on the 27th of June. Buckingham Palace thought they were being clever where they quietly removed Defender of the Faith from the King's official description, replacing it with, get ready, because no one asked me about this. I don't know if anyone asked your permission or if King Charles has spoken to God. Protects the space for faith within the multi-faith nation. Hello, we're a constitutionally Christian country, and at this point, this is psychological torture that the palace and the king are unleashing. In my professional opinion, we are being gaslit. This is absolutely shocking. I'm going to tell you about this very dangerous move the king and the palace have pulled, but I just want to quickly share a clip with you from Regent Street at the weekend, because this was going on in a constitutionally Christian country, and King Charles has been one of the biggest advocates for Islam, which is a political ideology. King Charles has promoted this heavily since he was 27 years old, and I'm afraid, King Charles, you are stealing away our children and grandchildren's future. They deserve to grow up safely in a constitutionally Christian country. Take a look at this.
58. 1970 summit.
I don't know about you. Personally, I'm not okay with that. That doesn't look like assimilating to me. I find it incredibly daunting, particularly as I'm going to film in an Islamic area within the UK next week, and I've been told it is not safe to do so. But how can it not be safe to film in an area in the UK, which is a constitutionally Christian country? But this is the story the mainstream media won't give you. And the king has pulled a very, very dangerous move. This possibly will change the course of our lives in the UK. Now, news has broken that he has quietly removed Defender of the Faith from his official description, replacing it with protects the space for faith within the multi-faith nation. He's broken his oath. This, and make no mistake about it, this is a shady PR move to fit the globalist agenda. He has sold us out to another ideology, and today we are getting straight into these new confirmed reports. They originally ran in the Telegraph and have since been picked up nationwide. The backlash and what it means for the future of the monarchy will also be on our agenda today. He has betrayed us.
Because of the king, yeah. He's betrayed us.
King Charles has failed the church.
Us down the river.
He's lied under oath. He's failed the people.
Sworn under oath and he's lied, so we should be out.
He has two jobs. One, defend the faith. Two, stability. Well, I would argue he's not doing either one. In fact, as we find ourselves within what many feel is an Islamic takeover in the UK, he is king of another ideology. He is not our king. I fail to see how anyone can truly think King Charles
He's
is
our king.
protecting the Christian faith. And even if you aren't religious, you might be watching this and think, I'm agnostic or I'm atheist. This has real implications for all of us. Sharia law is already all around the UK. We have Sharia courts. We are being fed halal meat without it being advertised. This is a king that called for more Muslim teachers. This is a king that learned Arabic. This is a king that is patron for the Islamic Centre. And this is a king that has not once stood up for British children. And then he just quietly slips this change in, thinking no one would notice. Now, I will be joined by Bishop Kai later in this episode, because not only is he shocked regarding this development, but he also has genuine concerns for all of us regarding how a constitutionally Christian country being eroded proves to be a real danger. Now, let's not forget, Chucky tried to pull this move before, changing the wording. He tried it, but the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, forbid him. But it's been replaced this time. His Majesty protects the space for faith within the multi-faith nation. I can only imagine the late Queen is absolutely incandescent. The late Queen, she was steadfast in her commitment to protecting the people, to protecting the constitutionally Christian country. But we see Charles sell us out at any opportunity. Qatari money, Saudi money, wants to wish everyone a happy Eid, or he wants to go down to the Islam. Majesty protects the space for faith within the multi-faith nation. I can only imagine the late Queen is absolutely incandescent. The late Queen, she was steadfast in her commitment to protecting the people, to protecting the constitutionally Christian country. But we see Charles sell us out at any opportunity. Qatari money, Saudi money, wants to wish everyone a happy Eid, or he wants to go down to the Islamic Centre. This is a man that cannot even do the basic fundamental requirements for his role as defender of the faith. So 500 years of constitutional history gone, rewritten in a footnote in this document. Do they think that little of us, the church and our Christian constitution, that they think they can just hide it in a document? Didn't think to consult any of us, didn't think to do a press release or perhaps a televised TV piece. But this is a king, as I have said. He's allergic to the word Christianity. I did an interview with Andrew Gold, Heretics, and when I said I have been told off camera that some people believe the king is a Muslim.
Yeah, he is.
People said, oh, well, when I say people, I mean just a bitter other blogger.
Not me, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, well, she can't say who it is, as if we believe her. The reason I can't say is because of how high up this person is. But everything I've said is absolutely true. We only have to look at every twist and turn.
My grandma,
is
my
laughing
up
at
there.
us. He's just mocking this religion. And look, my husband's not even religious. He's furious about it. How does this impact our daughters when they go to school? How does this impact our safety? There is
our
a
religion,
lot of
our
protection
country.
within a constitutionally Christian country. But we all know we're in the middle of an Islamic takeover.
changed
I've
his
got the fish
religion.
here, I've got the receipts, and by the end of this episode, you will understand exactly
we've
what
got
has just
receipts now.
happened to the Church of
I know, you're
England,
telling me there's
and
no
why
evidence. Well, there is now. Thank
nobody
you.
will talk about this
Well, I
in
am.
an unfiltered way within the mainstream media.
Well, I'm not in the mainstream
Okay,
media, but I'm on the
let's be
street.
precise about what has changed, because
He's
precision
changed his
matters
religion,
here.
that's it, yeah.
The Sovereign Grant Report is
And
the
he's seen the
Royal
Bible, he's
Household's
sworn an
annual
oath and he's broke
financial
it.
and operational document. It is
So that's
not
treason.
tabloid
That's
gossip,
fraud.
it's not a leak, it is the official palace description of what the monarch
Thank you.
does and what his role
Meant to
is.
be.
Last year's report described the king under his head of nation duties as head of the Church of England and defender of the faith.
He's
The
not
new
that though,
report,
is he?
published late last week, reads, His Majesty is Supreme Governor of the Church of England and protects the space for faith within the multi-faith nation.
No.
Same
No.
document, different
Different word.
language. The constitutional title, Defender of the Faith,
Yeah.
a title held by every English and British monarch since Henry VIII, confirmed by Parliament in 1546, has been removed from the palace's own description of the king's role. Now, I've been very, very clear on this channel. For me, supporting the monarchy, I support it at this point because I want to protect the country and I want it to obviously remain constitutionally Christian. But at
Yeah,
this
of course
point,
we do. We don't want
it
another
is
religion.
impossible
Sorry.
to
Yeah.
support a
monarchy when
monarchy
he
that
changed his
they
religion.
cannot do the bare minimum. This
You
is
can't
not a lot we are
support
asking
somebody that's
for.
changed their
But
religion. That's
yet
shut the door
again,
on God.
King Charles, the weakest king in history,
Yeah.
has
Like fucking
disappointed
Stan was the
us.
weakest
Just
fucking
when
Prime
you
Minister
think
we've had.
you can't be more disappointed, he does it. But it's worth noting, this is
Oh,
not the
you can't help
first
me now,
time
can you? Not,
they've
you don't like the
changed
truth
wording.
about the
Because in
child.
2022,
Sorry,
the Sovereign
it's not
Grant
me
Report
speaking,
was
it's on
quietly
YouTube.
edited to remove specific duties the monarch must fulfil. Events previously considered constitutional requirements. The palace has a habit of using this document to reshape the monarchy's obligations
It's not me
without
talking.
announcement,
It's on YouTube.
without debate, and without Parliament. And let's not forget, the news has come out now. Buckingham Palace will never be lived in again.
Yeah, after
So
spending
we
all that
have
money.
to now ask ourselves the question,
Well, wait, give it
are
to
we
the
looking
legals
at the
then.
end of the monarchy? Will
Yeah.
the Church of England be
Gone.
gone? Is there a future
500 years
for
gone.
the monarchy?
Or over 500
Because
years
if he
gone.
cannot put Christianity front and centre, then what he is doing is he is over-amplifying an ideology that many people feel does not want to assimilate and does not want to integrate as a political ideology. And critically,
it
don't
can't.
forget, before his
Yeah, but
coronation, there was
that
a
religion
significant public debate about
cannot,
whether Charles would change Defender of the
instigate with
Faith
each other.
to Defender
that religion
of
is
Faiths,
it's
the
it's
plural
never been
form,
able to be
encompassing
integrated
all
since
religions.
life on earth
He
become,
chose at the
and it
coronation
cannot be
to
done.
keep
So
the
no.
traditional wording.
Yeah,
He
no.
kept his oath
It doesn't mean anybody
publicly
doesn't have to.
in Westminster Abbey.
Not
What changed?
You know, but
Not the legal
we
title,
cannot- yeah.
but the palace's
But you
own
can't-
operational
we have our own
definition of what
religion.
that title
The
means
law
in
of the land,
practice.
the
And
law
that
is the
is
religion.
a very
of each
different
country.
kind of move. I can tell you exactly why they did it this
Sharia
way.
law is made for a Muslim
They
country.
buried
It's
it,
not made
they
for a
released
Christian
it
land.
and hoped that people wouldn't notice.
Doesn't mean I'm against
What they
it or got to
wanted was for
offend
this
anybody
news to
about
go
anything.
under the
Doesn't mean
radar.
anybody's got to
And then
offend
the
anybody.
minute the Telegraph picked
It
it
doesn't mean
up,
the king
you now
can't
see
be- he should be
stories coming
Christian
out.
and
Meghan
still
Markle
not be
isn't
able to
coming to
offend
the UK.
Muslims or
Will
I
she,
could say or
won't she?
whatever.
This is all done to distract
Yeah,
you, so
from
you
what the
don't
king's
pay
really doing.
attention.
Yeah,
Blink
well, it
and
won't
you
fucking
miss
work.
it. Thank
King
goodness
Charles,
you
get
can
fucked.
come to
Get out
independent
for
media,
himself.
myself, and there are many
Yep.
other people that you can watch, because the mainstream media are not going to
To tell
talk
ya.
and discuss
No,
the
they're not.
gravitas of what the palace and the king have done. They have purposefully hidden this
and
news,
that's against
hoping
the law.
you
It's against the
don't
Bible.
notice.
It's in the Bible.
Now,
and they have
his
noticed.
oath still remains, but what they have
No, it
done
doesn't.
is they've tweaked some
It does
wording
not.
which has no
His oath
legal
doesn't.
obligations to
His oath
fit
doesn't
his
say
globalist
at all.
agenda of a one world
He
government,
has changed his religion. I don't care what they say.
so
love.
it literally is now
But we'll have to
crime
find
in
the
the
evidence.
UK
It's there
to
somewhere.
be a Christian that
There is
doesn't want
evidence
to live
somewhere
in
of
a
it.
multi-faith nation, and
Maybe
our
we have to go
king,
to Turkey
the
and get
one
the evidence from
man
there.
that we look to look after and preserve our culture and our Christianity,
Classified
he
documents
has
will be
sold us
down the
out
river.
time and time again.
Yeah, to Islam.
And I have long said King Charles is the Muslim king.
He's a Muslim king, yeah.
Bishop Kai has been warning for years that King Charles is
He's
failing.
Muslim.
So let's go through, okay? Let's just have
Not that
a
anybody.
look at this year.
I don't have a problem.
These are
He can be Muslim.
King Charles and the palace might
Nobody
say his
says he cannot
highlights.
change his religion.
I would say they
But
are
then he
his
should not be the
lowlights.
king of England.
February 2026. The royal family's official social media posts
He can go
a
be the king of
full
Islam.
Ramadan message
Yeah.
to Muslims across the UK and Commonwealth, wishing all Muslims in the UK, the Commonwealth and around the
But
world
not for
a
Christmas and
blessed
Easter.
and peaceful Ramadan.
And not for the girls not being
March
abused by raped by the
2026.
grooming gangs.
The Nigerian president, a Muslim,
Yeah.
visits Windsor
Nigerian
Castle on a
Muslim
state
president,
visit during
yeah.
Ramadan.
Yeah.
For the first time in its 1,000-year history,
It's disgusting.
Windsor Castle opens its
Yeah,
doors
well, it
so
shouldn't be allowed to
Muslims
do that.
can break their
Nope.
Ramadan fast.
Nope.
The Islamic call to prayer echoes through
Nope.
St George's Hall.
It's broke the law.
At the state
It's in the
banquet,
Bible.
King Charles closes his speech
It's closed
with
the
the
door on
words
God
Eid
is the devil.
Mubarak. April 2026. Buckingham Palace confirms King Charles will issue no Easter message this year. No message for the holiest day of the Christian calendar,
Nope. Or
despite
for
the fact
Christmas
he
or
issued
for
one
anything
in
else.
2025.
Why?
The palace, well, their defence, an Easter message is not a fixed tradition.
Well, it is because it's Easter.
Neither's a Ramadan one.
No, exactly.
So this is where we are now with King Charles. It's not even the bare minimum. It's like when you get to the end of a job and you can't even be bothered to do that
I
work.
can't stand
And
it.
you're scraping the barrel. They're like,
It's in the Bible.
and you're just turning
I
up
don't
and
care,
doing
it's in the
nothing.
Bible.
This is
So
where we
that
are
shouldn't
with
be
the
taken
king. But he's
seriously.
actually,
It's in
I
the
would
Bible.
argue, not even turning up.
I
He's
can
at
say
the
that
point
you're-
where he's not
What they're trying to say is sin in the Bible is
pretending.
not serious. Well, it is.
And also, by the way,
And it
in
should take it
April
very seriously as well.
2026, when his Easter message did
If you
appear,
swear upon oath
get
in
ready.
the court,
it
in the Church
described
of
Christ's love as a deep human
if you swear upon
instinct
in court
echoed in
on the
Islam
Bible,
and other traditions.
in a court, and you're
So
lying, that's
he
serious.
found a way to get
I was going to
Islam
say that is
in
serious. That's
again
treason.
because he is
That's the reason
incapable
why it's classed
of
as treason.
defending
Because
the
it's
faith.
because it's classed as sin
And
in the
then
Bible. That's
we
serious.
see June 2026, the sovereign
I'm sorry, it should be
grant
taken
report
very
quietly
seriously, yeah.
dropping, and he is
So it
now
should be
no longer defender of the faith.
faith. Because
This
to
is
anyone,
not
that should
a
be.
pattern of omissions and
serious.
accidents.
It's like
This
sin in the
is
Quran.
the
It's just a
globalist
serious.
agenda, and I
I
don't
don't
like
think
it.
mocking. I could say
I'd
mocking
love to
any
hear,
religion.
insiders, what you think
But if it's
about
mocking
this.
Christianity.
I feel incredibly strongly about it. I do not think
Yeah,
the
and
king
Islam
should
should
be
see that.
patron
The
of the Islamic
Islam
Centre.
faith
I
can
do
see
not
that, not
think
the
he should
people,
be
the faith.
giving Ramadan messages.
No.
He can absolutely
They're
welcome
meant to be the
people from
enemy.
other religions, but you are defender
Not
of
that
the
we're going
faith,
to, not that I was going to
That
say
is
anybody's
your
got to go
job.
and be
I do not
instead
think the
of
call to
whatever.
prayer should be in
Everybody
Windsor
can-
Castle.
I was going to say,
Just like, may I
King
add,
Charles could
if I went to
say to
Dubai
Ramadan,
and the
and if you say Easter
king of
message, you can
Dubai
say, oh,
was
do both.
having Christian call to prayers
Yeah,
in mosques.
No.
Well, I would think that's completely
completely
bonkers.
bonkers.
So this man,
Yeah, why
cares
would we
not
have
for
Christian
you
prayer in a
and
mosque?
not
They're not
for me.
allowed to have a
he
Christian
cares
prayer in a
not
mosque.
for our children's future. He is
No,
the
even in Saudi
Muslim
Arabia, you're
king.
not allowed to do that.
So let's go
You can
into,
go and pray in a
before we
mosque
hear
as
from
a
Bishop
Muslim.
Kai,
You're not saying
what
nobody can't
his
do that.
coronation oath was.
You
Because this
cannot
matters.
go in a
Because he
mosque
swore
and
before
start praying
God,
to
and
God
he swore
as a Christian or a
before
Catholic.
the nation.
And if you do,
he
if
said
anybody
he
does
would
try to do
maintain
that, that
and
is
preserve
against
the
their
settlement
religion.
of
And
the
I
Church
feel
of England,
strong about people
and the
doing things
doctrine,
like that.
worship,
Going against people's
discipline,
religions.
and government
I'm going to say,
thereof,
I'm
as
I
by
I don't know
law
there about
established.
Islam religion because I'm
It
not
is
a Muslim.
not
I'm
to be
not from
violated.
Islam.
It is not
I
to
don't
be
need
broken.
to know. I was going to
It
say.
means the oath is not subject to
Yeah, exactly.
reinterpretation.
Sure.
This is not
He's
make up your
lying,
own
and
job
that's that.
description,
Yeah.
Charles. This is an oath you took in front of the public, in front of the world.
Swore on the
Insiders,
Bible.
let's speak to Bishop Kai and get his take
And
on
don't take
this
time to do
groundbreaking
that.
news that
You're
should be
lying.
front
The
page
reason
of
why I
every
say
newspaper, but is barely
the reason
making
why I say
a
this is
small
in the
news
Bible is
piece.
because he already changed
Bishop
his religion
Kai,
before
I
he
need
swore
to get
upon
your
oath.
thoughts on this
That's
development that was hidden
He
within
was already
the
lying
sovereign
before
grant
he
information
become
that was
king.
released, and then we saw it was neatly tucked into the Telegraph, and only after that came out have other media outlets picked it up. I'm shocked, I'm angry, I'm sad.
Yep,
How do you feel?
angry.
This is a dark day for the Church in the United Kingdom. The fact that our sovereign and supreme governor of the Church of England has elected to push forward with his multi-faith agenda. It is really, for all intents and purposes, a kind of semi-answer to my letter, reminding him of his constitutional duties, which is basically about yours. I'm doing what I want to do, and that's how I interpret what we've learned today. But it's really a slap in the face to every faithful Christian in the United Kingdom that is looking to their sovereign as supreme governor of the Church of England to come in defence of the Christian faith. And let's not neglect to take into consideration what this is. This is, again, a push from a leftist-leaning liberal, well, actually more social communist style government that is once again trying to rewrite the narrative. Admittedly, they're rewriting it in a way that favours the king's ideological views, but to push Christianity out of the heart of this nation, and it leads to one place only, and that is Britain becoming an Islamic state.
Yeah, well, we're not an Islamic state.
I think if we look at what's happening, we have Sharia law or Sharia courts.
Law is for Muslim
they are all around the country, and we are being served halal meat, and it's not labelled. The king has pushed the Islamic ideology since he was 27 years old. He's called for more Muslim teachers. He's accepted money from the Bin Laden family. Now, granted, yes, they are not bad people, the wider family. But we have seen time and time again him amplify and over-amplify the Islamic ideology.
That is not the way the world works.
Do you think the king is putting our children's future at risk?
Yes.
Let me start by telling you, I do.
I do, yeah.
I think
putting everybody at risk, everybody's faith, everybody's religion, everybody's culture.
Our children's future at risk.
We are not
I
a
believe
Muslim
they're putting
culture.
our
We're
immediate
not Muslim
future
land.
at risk. Yours
Our
and
land
mine,
is not made, was
and
not
people
built
like
to
you
be
and I
Muslim land.
across the country.
No matter,
because we are seeing the breaking down
even
and the softening
if
of
I was
language
Muslim
and
myself,
expression
which I'm
around
not,
constitutional functions of the head of
you've
state
got to have a
and the head
Muslim
of the
land and a
Church of
Christian land.
England that are leading to a moral
You're not allowed
vacuum
to have a Christian land and
that
a
is
Muslim.
being
You're
filled
not
by
allowed to take
radicalized
Christian laws
Islam, and the
onto a
more
Muslim land.
people are bullied and browbeaten into talking about it,
King Charles,
the
but this is what I mean, the government, they've been bullied because of the King.
becomes,
I've been saying it
I'm
all
very
the time.
mindful
How
of the
come every
fact that there
government
should
is
be no other
unsuccessful? Every
law
single person.
in the United Kingdom save British common law.
Yeah.
Full stop. Sharia law has no place in our society. There are no other religious bodies that have their own courts. The Church of England is bound by canon law. The Church of Wales is bound by canon law. We don't have canon courts as a result of that.
Why would King Charles
that are actively
He's not British.
Operating
He's not English or
in
British.
direct
He doesn't belong to the land.
to the government's legislative laws and the law of this land. You don't see that from
the law of the
Jewish community or the Sikh community,
we're not
the
allowed to do
Buddhist
that on
community,
Jewish land,
Hindu community. It is
we're not
only
allowed to
the
go to
Islamic
Jewish land.
community. And it is completely unacceptable. And I know that there are Christians all over the country that find my views on this completely unpalatable because they're so soaked in their own
It's
Kool-Aid
just a
of
series of
wokeness
murder
and
to
liberalism
me.
that they
It's in the
cannot see the
Bible.
wood for the
It's
trees
in
of
the
what is
Bible. I
really
was going to say
happening.
treason,
But
mate. I can see
Islam
this
is
with what
a
King Charles is doing.
political,
It's a crime as
religious
bad as murder
ideology
in my
with
eyes.
domination
It's
at
as
its
bad as
heart.
murder.
And saying that puts me under active fatwas with multiple threats to my life.
Mm?
But the reality
And you shouldn't have to have
of it is
threats to your
this.
life, mate. You're a
This
Christian.
nation of ours
You,
that I now
this
believe
man's a
in many
Christian,
ways is being
bishop.
assisted by the king,
a bishop.
by the palace, by the state, by the Church of England,
Wow.
is facing a battle for the very soul of this nation.
Yeah, but he's
And
floated down
unless
the rivers of Islam.
God-fearing
He's had a lot of
Christian
money,
men and
dodgy
women
money in a
that
suitcase,
believe
mate.
in God and
That's what he's done
believe
it for.
in this nation and believe in its Christian
And
heritage
why has he took that
and
money?
its
I
Christian
mean, at the end of the day,
form and function,
why would
because
he
our
take that money?
laws, our
Even
democracy, our
let's
institutions
just say
were
King
all
Charles didn't have
built
anything
upon
to do with
biblical
it, and somebody
principles.
just brought it to him.
Unless
Why
those
would he
people
take that money?
get
and not
angry
declare
enough
it?
to
I was going to
say
say
enough is
declare it.
enough, and I'm very mindful that I probably face jail time for saying some of the things that I say, unless we get so fed up to say enough is enough,
is enough.
and
Like
we're
I've
not
already
going
said, I'll
to
say it for
sit
you.
back and take this anymore.
We can do
We
what
will
I'm
watch
saying,
the
mate. I
state
don't care.
legislate
The law of the
Christianity
land,
out of our
treason,
lives, out of the state,
quartered,
out of
mate. The
existence
death
in this
penalty,
country.
death.
And when you create a moral
And I don't
vacuum
care
of that
politically, it's not being
magnitude,
violent.
it never
I
ever
don't do
stays
violence.
empty.
It has to be
We have
done
seen
by the law of the land
radicalized
and the land of the law
socialism,
and the Bible.
radicalized communism
His
trying to
he's
fill it,
chopping off because
and
he
now
is the
we
devil.
have
He's poltergeist.
radicalized
He's
Islam
executed.
trying to fill that vacuum.
Changed
And I'm
his
sorry
religion.
to
He's
say,
in the
whether
Bible.
people like me saying it
Swallow
or
it.
not,
Yep.
when it comes to our sovereign, I fully
Ah.
understand his
He's a
obsession
good
or his
person,
fascination with
as
the
well.
mysticism of Islam,
Thank you.
with its architecture,
Thank
its
you, Mr.
crafts,
Bishop.
its numerology. But to our sovereign Lord, your Majesty, you cannot divorce that from the
No.
radicalized fundamentalism that is contained within the same text. And it is completely unacceptable by our sovereign, by the royal family, or by this government and the church to even attempt
by
to
the
do
land.
so.
The law of the land, yeah.
He's failed.
Treason, yeah.
He's failed in so
Treason.
many ways, but this
Not failed,
to me
look,
is
it's
the most
treason. He's
chilling
lied
way,
upon oath.
because
That's treason.
something I
That's
felt
not just a failure,
protected
that is breaking
us
the
in the
law.
UK
The land of the law, the law
was
of the land.
the Christian constitution. And with this development, this obviously doesn't change the oath he took, but what it does do is it's a
So
PR
that's why
move,
every
isn't
government
it,
can take an
to
oath up in
allow
the
him to
government.
do more for,
I've just
for
said,
other faiths.
that's why I'm
But
saying
if
every
we go
person,
back,
everyone in this
Easter,
government
we got
can
no
take
Easter
upon oath
message
in
yet.
the
He'd
Westminster building.
hosted the
Yeah. And be
Iqbal
lying
in
because
Windsor
the king's doing
Castle,
the same
he'd
thing, yeah.
released an Eid
Yeah.
message,
Yeah, Eid.
he'd managed to weave Islam into
Everything he's done.
anything that
Yeah.
he does for Christianity as well. He's lied under oath.
He's lied under oath.
I would say it's more of a betrayal.
Betrayal, it's a lie.
Than
Maybe it's
an actual
betrayal, lying,
fabrication.
treason.
Like we would hold
Sin
it
in the
cold
Bible.
war. He swore to the oth before holy altar
Now,
and
Mary
before
going
God,
to the Thomas
and
Pointon and
has
telling
in
me
many aspects now betrayed
they were
that.
proper
But
Catholics.
you're right that it's a PR stunt.
And they were the
let's
religious
address
people in my
also
family.
who's
I'm not as
behind
religious
that,
as them,
because
but obviously
this
over
comes out in
years,
Sovereign
people like
Grant
saying
Report. That's something that
become
doesn't need the
soft to
palace's
things.
approval, because it's prepared by one of the
I'm going to
most
say
senior
over the
members
years
of
we've all
staff
become
at the
soft and
palace.
different
The
things.
three trustees of the Sovereign
Unfortunately,
Grant
my part
are the ones that are
don't like churches
redefining what
because
we're talking about now. They're the
a lot
ones
of
that have put
paedophiles
this redefinition of the king's
things.
job description,
Now,
so to
that's
speak,
possibly
into the
because of the
public
royal
domain.
family.
Well, who are
They
the
put them there.
trustees of the
Yeah.
Sovereign Grant?
Well,
Well, there's the outgoing Prime Minister,
we
Keir
will have,
Starmer,
that's got, yeah,
who
Starmer.
is the Islamo-loving,
Yeah,
sympathetic
yeah,
buffoon that he is.
and now he's
There's
gone.
our completely
anyhow. Or
incompetent
he's
Rachel
going.
from Accounts,
Yeah, all the
Reeves,
governments.
the Chancellor, and then there's James Chalmers,
I mean, come on, mate.
the keeper of
what
the
they're
royal
doing there
privy
is
purse.
the swearing
treasurer
panels
to
in
the
Westminster.
These are the three
I think
people
they could be the
responsible
people
for
of the
this.
jobs that they're
They
saying.
tried to redefine
Right,
it
and
last
then
year.
the King's
Back-
Line has
back
put off
when
as
our
well. So
late
they're
sovereign
lying and
lady,
the King's Line.
Queen Elizabeth II was declining in health and
And we know that
ascending
everything
in
they
age.
say can't always
The
be
trustees at the
gonna
time
say,
redefined her
but
job description
to
so that
lie
Prince
upon
Charles
oath,
could take on a
yeah,
lot more of her responsibilities.
it's
But you look at who they are, what their responsibility is within society.
yeah,
Look at the Prime Minister. I know he's on his way out, but who has
he's
he
out there,
favoured
but yeah,
since he came to power as Prime Minister? And understand that, yes, this
King
redefinition
Charles, that's what.
might feed into
King
the
Charles,
king's
the only person that
ideologies
wanted
and
to
his
start with them was Charles.
fascinations. But it is also
The
a
Jimmy
very,
Savile
very
files and
dirty
everything
move
else.
by the state
To Charles
to
didn't
try
want
and
see, because I
redefine
was going to
the
say
role
because
of monarchy
basically
in our
Keir
society
Starmer is
because
the
of
Westminster
the agenda
bubble.
that they're
Is
trying
the,
to
I was going to
push
say, is the cover
without
for the
trying
royal
to
family.
go through the correct channels of constitutional
Yeah, so
change.
now,
Because they
now
know full well
Starmer's
if they
gone,
tried to take
there
this
is
up at
nobody
a
else to blame
constitutional
now.
level,
So
they
now
would
it's
never
coming down
get
this
it
way. I
through.
mean, now is
The
they've
one thing
exposed
that
the
I read in the
monarchy.
Telegraph is where they talked about that King Charles decided to take the oath as defender of the faith,
Faiths.
not defender of faiths.
Faith.
That isn't true. Wasn't the king's decision to do it. The one and only thing that I will give the former Archbishop Justin Welby credit for was the fact that he refused to let the king change the coronation oath
Yeah.
so that he had to take it as defender of the faith. That is why he
But
is
he hasn't. He took
constitutionally
his
still
faith
the
and
defender
he's
of the
still
faith.
got faith.
And listen, Lauren, if Our Majesty wants to throw that aside, that's entirely up to him. Because to me, the Church of England, in many ways, has thrown aside their responsibility as being defender of the faith. There are enough of us in the Patriot pastors. There are enough clergy emerging across the country now who are sick to their back teeth of what
Yeah.
they're seeing. We will happily take on the responsibility
Jordan,
of being
yeah,
the defenders
of the
of
faith.
the faith. But by crikey, will we stick to Scripture and will we stick
I
to
mean,
the
we
truth
have
of
to
God's
bring the
word
Catholics
and the
and
doctrine of
Protestants
the
and
church?
Christians
Because this
together.
woke agenda
Now,
and this
I was
liberal
going to say that does
nonsense
have to
they're
come
trying to push,
together.
it doesn't wash with us.
And it has started to come
I
together. The Catholics
still
and the Protestants
so
in
lost for
Ireland, they've
words
started to come
that
together.
King Charles
and
has
working together now on
managed
it.
to sell us all
And,
out
well, yeah, it's
so
sold us down the river, it's sold us
openly
all
and
out
so
there to Islam.
brazenly.
Yeah,
How do you think
to
life,
jihad.
if
I
it
don't do anything, it's
continues
just Islam.
like it's going
jihad.
under King Charles, who
Basically,
is
I
not
don't know if
defending
it's
the faith,
actually just
and we
Saudi
have a
Arabia
government who are
that he's sold us out
prioritising
to. I think he's sold
illegal
us out to
migrants and
terrorist
Islam as well.
organisations. That's the point.
What do you think 5 years,
I don't know
5
if it
years
is.
time, what do you think
gonna
life
actually
looks
say,
like? And
although
I
the
say that
money's
as I'm
been
about
put
to
into
go and
Saudi
film
Arabia,
in areas where I
taken,
have been
put to
told,
Saudi Arabia,
do not go and film
taken
in these
Saudi Arabia
areas,
and
they
then
are
taken out
dangerous. And when I asked why they're
I don't know
dangerous,
if Saudi Arabia
but they
has as
are
much to
apparently
do with it.
Islamic areas now,
I
and
think
white
this is to do
and
Turkey and
white
terrorists.
non-Muslims are not welcome. And
They're not allowed
these
to get
areas,
flights
there
in
are
that-
many of them
in a
around the
Muslim
UK.
country. I was going to say,
I
alright, maybe
will go
Iran,
with the predictions
but not
being
Saudi Arabia,
bandied
no.
about by some of the former leading
And this is
military
why-
officers.
This
But
is
I'm now
why
saying
none of the
what I
governments will
said
be able
during
to
my
change
Ian
anything
Thompson
until the
interview.
king goes.
Civil war is not foreseeable.
When
It is
King
now
Charles
inevitable.
goes, then
In the
things will
United
change.
Kingdom, where
And I
I see
hope-
some figures,
well, I
a
do
country
hope that
that is
William
either on the tail
and
end
Kater,
of a civil
I
war
hope
or
that
is
William's done the
still
same.
engaged in it.
Isn't doing the same
But
thing
I'll
as
tell
King
you
Charles
from my very
and
heart,
changed his religion.
I am a man
I
that loves
really
my
hope he has
God.
not. I was going to say,
And
he's
I
got
love
to
my
really think
country.
about that. If he's changed his religion, I
And
don't
I've
want
been
him to
called
wear
everything
it on
under
it.
the sun for those two facts.
Because that's
But I
sin in the
truly
Bible,
fear for
and
the
that won't be
fate
forgiven.
and the destiny
cannot
of
forgive
this
sins
nation
from
that I
sin in the
love with
Bible.
everything in me. I
Doing
truly,
that, and I
truly
mean
do.
that is
I
proper
cannot
sin in the
see
Bible.
any
That's
other
not.
way that
That's
this
going to say that
ends
is not a
well,
mistake.
unless there is a mass
That's not a
rejection
failure.
of an
It's not a
ideology
mistake.
that is trying to
We
replace
can all make
every
mistakes,
aspect
and
of
that
our
just
life.
because we make mistakes is not sin in the Bible. There's a
insiders,
difference.
I would love
Yeah.
to hear your thoughts on
I mean, I've
this.
stolen
Are you
before
okay
when I was
with
a
it?
lot
Are
younger.
you
I've never
furious?
do it
Are
again.
you
I did it
feeling
once. I
let
got
down?
caught,
Are you not
and it
bothered?
was really silly.
I cannot stress
And
enough
that's what
how
the past is.
upsetting
That's what
I
I
find
would say
this.
was a
I
mistake.
feel that this has
Everybody is
real
allowed
world
to make mistakes, but
implications
to sin the
for my
Bible,
daughter,
I'm going to
for
say,
or
well, that is
daughters.
another
One of
matter.
them's 4 and she's going to school in September, and I feel
I've
like
got
it's just going to be a
12-year-old little
fight
girl,
on my
and-
hands to get Christianity taught her at school.
And I haven't got my little
The
girl,
school
and I'm
food will be
scared to
halal. It's
death
just everywhere.
for
But
her.
the
Should be going to
mainstream
school
media
on her
never
own soon.
talk
I'm
about
scared for her to go to
this.
school on her
This
own.
is a very
I
serious
will walk to school with
breach
her.
of King
I'll get the
Charles's
bus with my
oath.
daughter.
For me, I am
That's what part of me
incandescent
being
with
here
rage
for. That's
due
what
to the
part of my
fact that
job
the
would be.
palace have so much arrogance.
And
The
yes,
king
because
has
I'd
so
be a
much
mother on my own,
arrogance
I
and
would have to give up
disrespect
her career
for
to
the
look after my
Christian faith
daughter.
and for the people
And
that they
they
think they
would
can
have a
just
lot of
slip
money
it
to live on,
in, being
but it's not
sly,
the end of the
think they're being
world.
smart. I think I'm as
The end
annoyed
of the
at
world
that
is when we
as
haven't
the
got each
fact
other.
they've changed the
Yeah.
wording.
Yeah.
Please let me know below
Well, thank
what
you very much
think.
for that.
I love reading all of your comments,
That was brilliant.
even if we
I
always
will
don't
comment.
agree insiders. I love hearing other
But I will
people's
comment on
take.
some of it.
So
I've already
please
done
let me
doing
know
a video on
below
it.
what your
But
take
thank
is
you.
on this.
That was
And
brilliant.
if you are not subscribed, hit
Thank
that
you.
subscribe button.
I will do.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very much for that. Bye bye from Caroline Poynton.